have another reaction that I'm about to do, and it is called If You Touch It, You Die. And kind of similar to what we just watched. It's another comparison video. Except instead of games of, okay, well, tell me, matter of fact. All right, so the video we're about to react to is a video called Comparison. If You Touch It, You Die. Essentially, it's very similar to the best-selling video games thing we just did, except instead of comparing like copies sold or whatever, it's comparing like how long after you touch this thing would it take for you to die. So as the list goes on, the time that it would take for you to die gets shorter and shorter. So what appears at the beginning of the video are things that if you touch it, you'll die, but it's like longer than what it would be at the end. So this would be interesting as well. So let's go ahead and check this out and see what it has to offer. This video is by a channel called WatchData. I am subscribed to them. If you want to check them out, again, after this stream is over, if I decide to put this on the YouTube, there'll be a link in the description box and everything else so you can check them out. But in the meantime, let's just jump into it. Asbestos fibers causes death in 60 years. Now it says values presented are approximations according to online sources, community discussions, and forum posts. All source material listed. Enjoy. Disclaimer. This video is based on community discussions, related sources, numbers, and facts listed may not be up to date, valid, or in any specific order. Any source material is linked in the description box. Okay, so kissing bug, cause of death 30 years. This is a 3-minute video. I guess I can read these. Asbestos is an old building material that could cause long developing lung cancer. I think I heard they said that's what Steve McQueen might have died from. I think. The kissing bug. They feed on human blood at night, transmitting the deadly Chagas disease. They're called kissing bug because normally they bite you around your lips. All right, we have uranium ore, cause of death 10 years. Uranium in its natural state is not particularly dangerous, but causes high risk of cancer. Leprosy victim, cause of death 5 years. Leprosy is a skin disease that takes time to develop, though it is curable. Malaria infected mosquito, 1 year. The malaria parasite can lay dormant for up to a year, although it can kill faster. Rabies. Cause of death 3 months. Rabbit dog. Rabies virus can lay dormant for months, causing death in 10 days after symptoms. Now, the thing is with rabies, I've heard stories that people have like died way later than that. Like there have been people that had rabies dormant in their body for like almost a decade, and it didn't finally like start showing symptoms until then. I think it depends on where you get bit and how like that determines how long it takes for it to get through your bloodstream and get to your brain. But rabies is one of those viruses that it's like there's very few viruses that really scare me. Rabies is one of those viruses because it's one of those things that you don't know you have until it's too late. Rabies is like once your body gets it, you have to treat it immediately, or at least as quickly as you can, because once you start showing symptoms of rabies, it's already too late. It's already reached your brain and it's already in the process of spreading. So at that point, it's already a death sentence. You cannot like treat rabies once it's hit your brain. So if you suspect that you've been bitten by something, if you made contact with like a bat or any other type of mammal, and even if you don't feel like you've been bit, if you just were in close proximity with certain animals, then get yourself treated. Raw grizzly bear steak. What? There's a high chance you'll be poisoned by parasites causing botulism. Raw grizzly bear steak? Like, first of all, I didn't know grizzly bear steak was a thing. Second of all, why the hell would you eat it raw? That sounds like some revenge shit. Like, this bear ate my friend. I'm gonna eat them. Fuck it. Like, that's what it seems like. Rusty nail. Many countries immunize against tetanus, which is often found in rusty metal. Cause of death 3 months or 3 weeks. Rat poison. Cause of death 2 weeks. Rat poison slowly kills by causing blood thinning and internal bleeding. Vial of smallpox. Now remember, the key is it says if you touch it, you die. So what I'm hearing is if you touch rat poison, you'll die 2 weeks later. Is that what it's saying? Because some of these things aren't deadly if you touch it. It's like it has to get into your bloodstream. So shouldn't this video be called "If You Get It, You Die"? I guess. But yeah, viral smallpox, one of the most devastating diseases. It has existed for over 3,000 years.
Close your eyes.
Don't you tell me what to do. Ebola victim, cause of death 11 days. This is a rare disease and is generally spread through an animal or infected person. Bubonic plague infested flea. Without treatment, the fatality rate for the plague is as high as 90%. Death cap mushroom. An antidote was discovered in 2017. The mushroom contains very potent poisons. Salmonella egg. Cause death 6 days. Admittedly, it's rarely fatal, but imagine dying from eating a bad chicken egg. Yeah, that sucks.
Relax. Breathe easy.
Rattlesnake venom. The venom contains neurotoxins which effectively stop the body from working. If you've seen videos online of like people exposing blood to snake venom, it's very interesting. It's like they'll have like a little vial of blood and then they'll put a couple drops of snake venom in it and then like shake it. And then they'll pour the blood out and it comes out like jelly. Like, it's really weird. It like solidifies your blood and makes it like clot super hard. Not super hard, but it just makes it clot real bad. Foxglove flower. Touching this plant causes irregular heart function and cardiac arrest. Wow. Full of liquid mercury. Mercury poisoning causes blindness, numb skin, and difficulty speaking. The yew tree. Yew trees have heart-blocking toxins all over their bark. There is no antidote. I'm curious what the hell would cause a plant to evolve this way. Like, normally whenever something develops like thorns or poisons or something, it's done because it's like it's evolution's way of protecting itself against a particular predator. I want to know what the hell animal is like, or at least what animal's ancestor was eating this plant's ancestors all over the damn place that caused them to develop this strong poison. Cone snail. They use hypodermic needles to inject venom into their prey. Cause of death 4 hours. Hemlock flower. Greek philosopher Socrates chose hemlock poisoning as his method of execution. That's another reason why religion sucks. That tree literally fucks you up. That's funny. That's a good one. Punji stick death. What? I mean, I get that it's a thing, but it's like it's not a natural thing. Like, if that's the case, is it gonna put like getting touched by a bullet to the head? Is that gonna be something listed on here? Like, punji stick booby traps are pretty fucked up, but I thought this was gonna be like things that naturally occurred in nature. Sharpened bamboo stick booby traps were widely used in the Vietnam War. Murder hornet nests. It's don't you isn't it interesting these fear mongering terms? Because for the longest they were called Japanese hornets, but as soon as they leave Japan, all of a sudden now they're murder hornets. Like, come on now. Dozens of people have died from Japanese hornets stinging them.
Relax. Breathe easy.
Freezing cold ocean. Jumping into icy water, you'll go into shock within the first 2 minutes. Lawnmower blades. There have been causes of people losing hands by not turning it off first. Why would you reach? I'm guessing maybe like you're cutting your lawn, something gets stuck in the blade. So you think, oh, well, I'll just go ahead and, go in there and clear the jam out and continue mowing my lawn. But you don't like turn the thing off. As far as I'm concerned, it's a case of Darwinism. But again, also not something that naturally occurs in nature. Blue ring octopus. The venom they inject is extremely poisonous and there is no antidote. I've seen many pictures of people grabbing one of these things, not knowing what the hell they are. And just like, it's like when you see someone with some really dangerous shit, they just don't know what they have in their hands. And it's like, you better hope to God that thing does not bite you. You better hope it doesn't bite you. Yeah, I know they're cute, and the little fluorescent rings on their body might look like interesting, but don't touch a fucking blue ring octopus. You touch a blue ring octopus, you're going to have a bad time. Deadly nightshade flower. See, that reminds me of Skyrim. If ingested, the berries cause blurred vision, hallucinations, and psychosis.
Yeah.
Lion's tail. This would provoke an extremely painful death. At least it's over quickly. I guess. Big fireworks. 4th of July just recently passed. A lot of people were dealing with fireworks. I'm sure there were some accidents, injuries, and maybe even deaths over the last week because of these. You can easily lose a limb to a large explosion and bleed to death in minutes. Gas chamber on valve. Last used in America in 1999. Gas chambers normally use cyanide pellets to kill. Fentanyl needle. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that is 80 times more potent than morphine. It kills in minutes. Golden poison frog. Their poison is enough to kill 10 people. Toxic equivalent to 2 grains of salt is enough. Lethal injection. The time for death can vary, but is generally swift and painless. It's not necessarily what I've heard. Hanging noose. Ideally, the neck vertebrae are crushed, causing a swift death. Wave pool contraception? What? No, contraption. I'm tripping. I said contraception. Oh my God, that sounds horrible. We've all been scared of getting sucked into these and helplessly drowning. Yeah, I can see that being an issue because it's like once the current gets you, you're kind of just like done. That of sulfuric acid. Just 5 minutes is enough to dissolve your body into a steamy mess. I've seen people like do experiments with sulfuric acid, and it's like I think it would take more than 5 minutes. Like it'll eventually like dissolve you for sure, but normally what I've seen, like they'll take like a piece of chicken breast or a chicken thigh or something and put it inside of sulfuric acid. And normally it takes like 30 minutes for it to like gets to the point where it just turns into like a black sludge. The elephant's foot. The elephant's foot is an extremely fascinating thing to study about. This pile of highly radioactive waste was left after the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. Now, from what I understand, this is like all the nuclear material that, like, after the Chernobyl nuclear reactor exploded, the material got so super hot that it literally melted through the concrete floor. And from what I understand, like, this pile of radiation and waste is just sitting inside of like the basement of some house or something, because it just like melted through everything that was nearby it. And they literally said that, like, just being in the same room with that with the elephant's foot for a minute is like enough to kill you. Like, that's how radioactive it is. Like, just being in the same presence as it for not even that long of a time. Like, just a minute is enough to like fatally poison you. And it's probably going to be like that for hundreds of years. Taser prongs. Police guidelines state that tasers can't be fired for more than 15 seconds. Yeah, possibly. It possibly could. But I mean, most people don't really live in that Chernobyl area anymore. I forgot what the area was called, but yeah, people don't really live in there. That area is probably going to be unhospitable for like 100 years at least. Electric chair. High voltage current normally kills in minutes unless the execution is botched. That reminds me of the Green Mile. Box jellyfish. Their tentacles are covered with tiny darts loaded with man-killing poison. Guillotine. Beheading does not kill instantly. Studies show that the brain is aware for 30 seconds. And I think you can still think and see and stuff like that for like 3 to 5 seconds after you've been beheaded. But after a while, your blood loss is too much and you like lose consciousness. Now, I guess you're still technically like, your brain is still technically alive between that 5-second mark and that 30-second mark, but you'll be unconscious, so you wouldn't know it. Electrified train tracks. Many people have played around train tracks without realizing the danger. Yeah, see, I didn't even know that like regular train tracks were electrified. Now, I know that there's like subways where they have like an electrified rail that if you touch, you will die. But I didn't know regular train tracks had electricity in them. Maybe certain ones do. 40 mile per hour car. If you are hit by a 40 mile per hour car, you have a 90% chance of dying. Lightning. You won't see it coming. 1 second you're there, the next you're vaporized. I've seen a couple videos of early stories of people getting hit by lightning, and from what I understand, you will feel the static of like around you before the lightning hits. Like, I've seen like pictures and stuff, and it's like your hair starts to stand on end and stuff, and like it happens right before you get struck by lightning. Now, I don't know if there's anything you can do to prevent it, because it probably happens too fast after that for you to like try to run inside or something. But be aware, if you feel like a really strong sense of static, then try to ground yourself however you can, I guess. Cannonball. A direct hit would sever right through bone, blood vessels, and nerves. Power lines. These can contain 750,000 volts, which are delivered straight to the body. Scary. How many of y'all remember the old commercials, the safety commercials that they made to prevent people from like messing with electricity and stuff? They had a little lightning bug. These power lines are down, or these power lines got the blues because they're feeling down. When they're down, don't hang around. When lines are down, don't you hang around. When lines are down, don't you hang around. When lines are down, don't you hang around. Like, how many of y'all remember those commercials? Like, I heard those commercials so many times, it still sticks to me. Airplane turbine. Oh yeah, that's a rough way to go. Airplane turbines. It can suck you up and grind your bones to dust. No caps. They spelled cap wrong. This is old people trying to sound young. Landmines. These were used in wars to prevent enemies from getting into bases. There's still plenty of places around the world where there are like undiscovered landmines that are still out there. So there are like a lot of places that you have to really be careful when you're walking, especially places where wars happen. So like a lot of the Western and Eastern Front in World War II and in Africa where there was civil wars and stuff. You gotta be careful where you go because there are a lot of landmines. Nitrogen triodide, the most sensitive explosive, such that the touch of a mosquito can trigger it. Wow. Holy hell. The sun, cause of death, 0.00001 second. Stars release trillions of joules of energy, enough to disintegrate you in no time. I guess it depends on how close you are to the sun.
Close your eyes.
Nuclear launch button. It depends on how prepared you are, but most people will die one way or another.
Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, then make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on those notifications and check out some of our other stuff.
Yeah, they have a lot of different videos. I've actually saved quite a few of them because I'm planning on reacting to other ones as well. But I think that it would be pretty cool to do reactions to some of their other videos.